Let's go mudlocking! Yes, today in this special video we're going to be exploring the world of bricks as we explore the country. We'll be going all across Wales, we'll be visiting interesting places, we'll be going up and down the country to the south and to the north, and hopefully bringing you some footage that you'll enjoy. Not only the finds but also the scenery and of course a little bit of history too. Because as everyone out there will know who watches our videos regularly, somehow, I've become a bit synonymous with a particular phrase. But as you'll see here, yes, I do use it quite often, but I'm not the only one. I found a brick! I found a brick! I got my brick!
Oh, well done. Bring it over and we'll have a look. Phil has gone wandering. I'm left all on my own, but I have found a brick. This is a nice one. I've never seen one of these before. Atlas.
Yes, Caroline too has been known to come out with the phrase, I found a brick. But probably not as often as I do. But I have heard from so many in the comments that this is a phrase that's going around the world. And in fact, some people tell me that their other half often shouts out, I found a brick, with a very clear Welsh accent. Which is lovely. It's nice to share the joy. And there is a joy in bricks. I never would have thought you'd hear those words come out of my mouth. Before I started mudlarking, a brick was a brick was a brick. But now, as you see, I've got a display here on the shelves. Some I can't display because they're already cemented into the project out in the garden. I've got new projects planned for the spring, which we want to share with you. But it's the names, it's the places, it's the history. And it's the sense in which these things had a purpose. They served that purpose perhaps for over 100 years. And now they turn up here, there and everywhere. For instance, the one that Caroline just found there, Atlas. Now that was a new one to us. And when I looked it up and did a bit of research, we realised that it had travelled a bit of a distance. Not from the furthest point that it may have come from, because there was an Atlas brick company at New York in America. There's also one in Ohio in America. So they could have come across the channel, but that didn't happen too often. But they did come from outside of Wales and beyond England, because there was an Atlas brick company and that was located in West Lothian in Scotland. So that brick had come a few miles for us to find it here in the valleys of Wales in a river. And here are a few more local finds in local rivers that we've discovered during our mudlarking adventures. Some letters here.
All right.
Don't know how much of this we can get.
PD1. Oh, that's a big lump of rock. Well, stone, what is it? The brick, is it? Is it a marker to say, I've seen those, they sign that there's something underneath the pavement or the road when they need to dig it up, like a water main or a drain?
Possibly. Of course,
that's my guess.
First thing that comes to mind when I see the letters PD, which I'm not saying is relevant on this occasion, is Powell Dyffryn.
Oh, right, yes.
Because Powell Dyffryn were the company that owned the mines around here.
Right.
So I'm not saying this is necessarily linked to that. It could be something completely different. but the PDs, that's what they used to call it.
Right.
They weren't a popular bunch with the working men, obviously, and the reference was to PDs.
Right, what about
we
that
work with
there?
PDs.
Is that another one?
Oh, look now.
Let's see if there's PD on this one. And is it PD1 or PD some other number?
It's a bit more worn, isn't it? Oh, hang on.
Trowbridge. Stourbridge something brothers. I can't quite make it out.
Oh, that's interesting, isn't it?
I wonder if there are any more around.
Let's have a look.
Look, here's some writing over here. On this one.
Oh, no.
A and J Rudry. I think it's A and J.
I've never had a Rudry brick before.
It's an engineering brick, it's very heavy.
It's very heavy and very thin. Possibly an engineering brick or a brick for a tunnel.
Oh yes, could be.
You know, where they put them all like this, all the way around.
Do they make that noise then?
It does. It always makes that noise. When you put them in, they go...
Oh, interesting.
You didn't know that. You learned that here. And if you believe that, you believe anything.
Oh, right. Phil's found something. Let's go have a look. Sounds exciting. Careful where you tread, everyone. This ground is really uneven. And every now and again, you get a piece where you start to sink. So just be a little bit careful. Oh, wow. Phil's already found some good stuff.
Very smashed. But that's the price you pay for the storm.
Something and Evans, AS, so I say Thomas and Evans, because that's a good Welsh name. RTH, so probably Porth, probably or possibly the pop factory originally. We'll have to have a look. Oh, now is that plain or patterned? Oh, that's pretty. Oh, we like that. Whoop, it dropped a bit. Oh,
but it's a big piece.
Pottery. Oh. A nice jar, that's a big jar. I don't know if they made marmalade jars in that size or whether it was something else. Quite a substantial chunk, that. Oh, is that what I think it is? Oh, yes it is. We have never found a clay pipe so close to home. It's only the stem. But still, look at that. Are you impressed? I'm impressed.
I found a brick.
Oh yes. What's on this brick? Let's have a look.
It's one we've seen before, love.
Oh, it's a Tredegar, isn't it?
It's Tredegar. I think Tredegar and Abergavenny are neck and neck now on the race for which one we've got the most of. But I'll have to check on Tredegar, but I did read up this week in answering a comment to someone that in 1955 the Abergavenny brickworks produced 20 million bricks in a year.
That's a lot.
Probably explains why we find the odd one or two. And I think Tredegar probably produced somewhere near the same.
Yep.
Well, let's keep looking. Found a brick.
Oh, let's go and have a look. What have you found, Mr. Johnson?
I would say, if you have a look carefully, South
Yes.
Rhondda.
Oh, yes.
South Rhondda. A brick from the Rhondda Valley.
There's a big old gnarled tree above us. This magical grotto beneath it. More water seeping in over there. You can see a lot of this iron that's coming out from underground, leaching into the rivers. Not very nice stuff, but at least it's a pretty colour.
I've got a brilliant brick.
Oh, Brickman's found a brick.
I found a very, very good brick.
Right, go on then, what's your brick?
Yeah, now see, it's not Tredegar.
No?
Star Brick Company, is it?
Oh yes, Star Brick Company.
That's a new one.
Yep. Aha, Phil's found another brick. Oops.
Beaufort.
Oh yes, whoops, I'm falling over, it's very slippery.
Think so?
Yes, Beaufort Brick Company.
AUFORT, Beaufort Brick Company Limited.
There we go.
There you go. Well, there was quite a collection there from various parts of Wales. This time they were within Wales. We had bricks from Beaufort, we had bricks from Tredegar, We often turn up bricks that are from around the area, but it's interesting how many find themselves in one particular spot. Because industry was located there in one place and the demand was so great, they came in from all over. But of course, that last brick that I picked up there, that was a little bit of a climb. Not for a brick enthusiast. Again, if someone had told me that I would go scrambling down a bank in to fetch a brick, then I'd have said they were mad. But then I became a mudlarker, and then I became, as you can see, a brick enthusiast. And I hope that enthusiasm is passing over to others who go out, walking the rivers and looking for historical finds, because these are genuinely a link to history. But that wasn't the only time that I went a little out of my way to pick up a brick, as you can see here on this piece of footage.
Phil has spotted a brick.
I've seen a brick.
Right the way down there. That is a long way, but he's determined he can get down, so let's see. If he breaks a leg now, there's nothing I can do. I certainly can't drag him back up.
Gravity is with me going down.
Yeah, it's going to be funny seeing you come back up.
I have to levitate to get back up. If that hasn't got a word on it now, I'm in trouble. Even worse, if it says Tredegar, I give up.
Possibly does. I've looked down on the beach and I can't see anything that's going to lure me down an 8-foot drop. Well, what's the verdict?
It says Tredegar. But
yes,
there's something else on there.
Oh look,
NCB.
NCB Tredegar.
Now whether that's National Coal Board or
I would
whether
have thought
that's
so, we'll check it out.
something else, but NCB Tredegar.
Very nice.
So worth risking life and limb for a decent brick.
He says that, but he hasn't climbed back up yet.
Well, we're under the new bypass at Ponypool, and I wouldn't normally chance this sort of drop, because I don't know if you can see behind me. It's not sheer, but it looks a bit slippery. But I have spotted a brick. So I'm sorry, it has to be done. I'll be back in a moment. Let's just hope there's something interesting on it. See you in a minute.
And back to Brickman for an update on the brick situation.
The brick I spotted was rolled away. I couldn't see any brick on it, but saving the day, 1 3/4 bricks.
Ooh, let's have a look.
But full words, we got Abergavenny,
Yep.
and although it's a little bit difficult to see, that is another Star Brick company. Well worth the effort, at least. I think so. Yes, those bricks I brought home. But there are times when even I have to admit defeat. It's not always possible to bring back the things you find. As you'll see now on a trip over to the very eastern coast of Wales, where we discovered some bricks, noted the name, but had to leave them there.
What have you found?
I found bricks.
Let's have a look.
We won't be taking them home with us.
Ooh, careful everyone, it's very slippery underfoot.
But bricks.
Oh wow, what a lot of bricks.
Just here, on the edge of that one. I can get a camera down there. I can only just bend over enough to see, I think it's saying Ponypool.
Are you all tangled?
Yes, fishing line.
Oh, fishing line.
I don't know if I can get it from
Oh, it's stuck on me as well. Now
Yeah.
we've got dexterous fingers and we're struggling getting it untangled from this.
Imagine what the poor marine life
Oh
does.
look, it's on the end of my grabber.
Yeah, let's see if we can pull it all out. Take your foot off. Yeah. Some more there. There you go.
Oh, there's more, is there?
There you go.
Yeah, we take that home, put it in the bin. Well, that's one thing. It's a hobby, but some creature may be saved from being killed by either eating that or getting tangled up in it. So it's quite fulfilling.
Yes, too heavy to carry, too big to move. Sometimes the distance makes even single bricks difficult to retrieve because we've walked a mile or 2 miles through difficult terrain, and carrying a couple of bricks back along with more delicate finds is really complicated. But there are those days when it's not hard work at all. Those days when the sun shines, the water is clear, and the bricks just seem to appear on all sides. Such as our trip to the ancient walled town of Abergavenny. Let's go there now and see the finds that we discovered there on a summer's day. Well, we're down here at Abergavenny and looking into this river. It's looking good for finding bricks. So let's go and look for some bricks. I found a brick.
Go and have a look at Phil's brick. Ooh, look at
I
this.
have a brick. Watch where you go in there. It's very deep over on the left.
Right.
No left. Ebu Vale.
Right, let's have a look. It may be a bit dark. No, there we go. We can see. Ebu Vale.
Another brick.
Go and see.
This is going to be a very good find for bricks today. Look at that. Little Mill Brick Company, Ponypool.
Oh, very
I'm
clever.
pleased with that. I don't think I've had one of them.
No. That's a rim of something. And what's Phil found?
I got half a brick.
Half a brick.
Only problem is I've no idea what that's going to be unless I find the other half a brick.
Skin.
Would you say that's a G?
GKN.
That's what I would say it is.
Skin. No, even with the way the Welsh language works, that doesn't make sense.
No, so I've got to keep looking for the other half a brick.
Right.
I will keep searching. I'll put this by Abergavenny and then I'll see what else I can find.
Oh, look. That's got ivy on it. Oh, I like that. And more plain. Here are 3 pieces I found. Another piece of blue. This has got a bit of a pattern on it. And that's plain. Plain. Oh, that's the bottom of. What do you know it? It's ridged pottery.
I risked my best trousers in the water. And what do I end up with? My second Ebu Vale brick of the day.
Well done.
I can see a brick.
Oh,
I
no.
have to find out in case it had the other half of the answer to the mystery brick.
Oh, look at that. We've got some spotty pottery. That's lovely. That's got to be, whoops, still alive. And one of my favourite bits so far. Can you see the weir? I think we need to see if we can get in further up. This is a really nice piece of river to explore. What do you think that big lump is? Can we have a look? I'd say that's probably the U-bend of a very old toilet. What do you say in your brick?
I'm not
Roger stone, is it? No?
No.
Goyne?
Goyne?
Burgoyne? Burgoyne, I'd say.
Never heard of that.
No. Burgoyne PP.
I haven't seen that one before. Another one to go in my collection. Number 2 for Little Mill Ponypool, but look how much clearer that's written. Because there was still mortar over it that I just managed to scrape off.
Very nice.
One.
It is.
I got something new. Look at that. They've written it, look. Sort of down the bricks, eh?
That's very,
almost like a curve, isn't it?
very artistic.
Beaufort. Yes, that was a wonderful trip. And so many to add to the collection. But as you saw there, sometimes there's a repetition. The biggest number of bricks we have ever discovered is got to be between Abergavenny and Tredegar, but there it was Little Mill Ponypool. It's all down to location. It's down to who was the closest supplier with the largest quantity available at the time that the increase was going on, because there was such a boom in building around here at the turn of the previous century. When we were going from the 19th to the 20th century, it was massive. Houses being built so that people could live in them, to work in the industries, going down the mines, and the mine buildings, the engine houses, everything had to be built. And these were literally the building blocks of an industrial expansion that was colossal. And now we get to pick them up one by one here and there, sometimes half a dozen from the same place. But that in itself tells us part of the story of that location, because that's what it's all about for me. Everything in history, the biggest part of the word history is story. And the story is what matters to me. That's why I love the names. That's why I have on display here some of the names that we found. Some of those Welsh names, like Teleri. And of course, one that I'll show you now in the film. I've got 2 here that have got proper Welsh names for those who like the sound of the Welsh language. Another bit of brick.
Let's have a look.
Just to prove we are in Welsh Wales. Look at that for a word.
Ooh, that's cum.
It's definitely cum.
Let's have a look.
Is it cum corsal or?
Cum gos, I'd say. Cum gos. Do you think
And then
so?
there's something
Or
at the
cum
end of it.
gos. Cum gos.
Lass? Okay, a lot of places called
Cum gos lass. If you know where that is, then let us know.
I've heard of Ghost Lass. Could it be cum Ghost Lass?
It could be cum gos lass, yes.
Because this looks like an L.
You see this? Look glass. There's a little pot originally. Like a swill. You'll eat wildlife off it. That's nice. Another teeny bit of glue. Can you see how deep it's getting there? I don't think we better go any further. Oh, it's a bit shallower here, so I can use my hands. Oh, that's got something on it, yes, there. What about this? Oh, yes. More pattern again. We're doing very well here with pattern.
Oh, I got another brick.
Oh dear, the brick man has found another one.
Brick. I took a bit of reading.
What have you got?
Abergavenny.
Oh, Abergavenny.
Yeah, that's not a word you hear often.
No. Well, then everybody at home try saying Abergavenny.
Abergavenny. Yes, on display today is the Abergavenny brick, right alongside Teleri, which is another butte that we found. And just down here, the same location as we found a Teleri brick, we have an Ynys Ddu brick. Bit of Welsh town names for those who enjoy the sound of the Welsh language. And I'm sure Caroline will put up some of these names in legacy titles during the edit so that you can see them and practice the pronunciation yourself around the world. But that is the beauty, as I've said time and time again. Out of the word history, the biggest portion is story. And when you have a name on a brick, you can find the story. You can go on Google, you can look up the history, you can see pictures of buildings that are no longer there. That's why, as excited as we are to find a brick that's come from Scotland and found its way to Wales, we're also excited to find the bricks from these local brick companies that don't exist anymore. The one brick that I went to collect on that banking had NCB Tredegar from the time that the National Coal Board at nationalisation back in the 40s took over the production of the works there. You won't see those letters anymore. National Coal Board doesn't exist. British coal doesn't exist really. All of our deep mines have gone, but they're part of our history that I played a part in, for I worked for the NCB. That's where I did my apprenticeship when I left school at 16 years of age, and I worked in the deep mines for 12 years. So it is part of my story, and these bricks bring that story to life. But of course, there is a problem. They're in the water, they've been there a long time, and sometimes it's a struggle to try and decipher the history because they do get worn.
Right, I've got 2 more mystery bricks. The one I'm completely at a loss with for sure, and I'm so sad because it looks like it was a beautiful find. This one here. See, there were 2 lines of writing along here, and then there's, see, look at that deeply imprinted number there.
I wonder what that was.
Now at first I thought that was a 19 and the beginning of a date, but there's nothing imprinted after it, and I think it's probably 61.
Yep.
Because these letters are definitely that way up. 2 lines of writing, DCE or DGE.
OCE. I wonder.
OCE.
If you've got any idea what this brick is, please let us know.
Now, I think sometimes Abergavenny did them in a stylised way, and I think that's a W and that's a V.
Right.
So I'm wondering if we've lost the E double B. See the front of the B
yes, it
there?
does look like it could be.
It could have been the dot, then EBBW, and then V for Abergavenny. There we go.
Nice. What else have you got there?
One of them.
Oh, that looks like the old hose off a cleaner. The metal hose thing for a 1960s cleaner. Hoover.
Vacuum cleaner. Yeah, that's quite possibly. And I've just noticed, I didn't find this, but I have now, this here.
Oh.
That's not natural, is it?
No. Oh, that's nice.
I don't know what it is.
Ceramic. Possibly a bit of tile. I don't think so.
It's done on the edge nicely.
Oh, I wonder.
Could it be the part off a washstand or something?
Could be, yeah.
See, it's got a hole there. It could have been fixed that end and to the other end, and now it's a long back on a washstand.
Could well
maybe.
be.
Yes, and while worn bricks and difficult to read names are an issue occasionally on the rivers, they're a much bigger issue when we visit the coast, because the very turbulence of the water and the action of the sea that rounds the pebbles, you can imagine what it does to the bricks. But saying that, as you're going to see now in the video, there are still nice finds on the beach.
Right, so let's have a look at the beach in this area and see what we can find. There's seaweed, smaller seaweed. I wonder if that's relevant. It's none of the big stuff, it's just all this very fine, delicate seaweed. Very pretty. And we've got lots of bits of broken brick. Here's a bit of yellow one with a hole. And we've got an orange one. And we've got a little bit of something that's been washed to death. That looked like a pebble that's already been decorated to look like it's under the sea. And it's not, it's just little bits of seaweed have stuck themselves to it. Oh, that's a pretty colour. It's very burgundy purple. And this, I thought it was going to be some stoneware, but I think it is just a piece of stone. Again, very pretty. There are so many pretty things over on this beach. Here's another bit of pre-built house. I reckon over the years we found enough bits like this we could join them all together and make a nice little bungalow. That looks like, yes, somebody's done the kintsugi, is it? The joining things together with gold. And there's this one. It's another pretty one. These are a lovely clean looking colour. I don't know why clean is. That's what strikes it. That's what I think of when I see these. Oh, this looks like a mi-foi. Ice slice, as some people call them, or a custard slice. Oh no, that's interesting. It's a bit of stone. And it's got like some strata running through the middle, which makes it look like it's an egg about to hatch. Or maybe it is a fossilised dinosaur egg. We are in Wales, you never know. Is this a chain? What do you think? No, it's a catch or a latch off a door. There's the bit I would imagine screws onto wood, and then that flops. Do you think so? Interesting piece of metal though, isn't it? I like that sort of thing. What else can we see here? Lots of metal. We've got this. Whoa, I don't know what that is. Oh, I think it could be the holder or joiner for a cast iron downpipe. Oh, it's got some rubber seal in here, so yeah, it's a downpipe or something like a sewer pipe, and they join two with this big lump. That's my guess. And what's this? Oh, that's one of those electric things. Put your wires in. Well, you used to put your wires in years ago. What do you think there? Do you think that's copper? Yes. Now, I think, tell me if you think I'm right or wrong, I think that is from an electric kettle. It's a heating element. What do you reckon? It's the right shape and size, but I could be completely wrong. Oh, another gummy bear piece of glass. There, and there's another one of those green stones. Or green glass. It could be a solid green glass. We need to find out. Does anybody know? What have you found? Oh, a mini brick.
A tiny little brick.
Oh, that is cute.
And look, it did have writing on, but sadly, even with my glasses, I can't read it.
No, it's got an H in it.
But
Hale, I think, possibly.
where?
Hale, possibly, which is Cornwall, which isn't far from here.
Possibly.
Well, Mr. Johnson, what have you found?
I found that. I thought that was pretty because it's a heart.
Oh, yes.
That's a heart.
Isn't that sweet? Always nice to find a heart-shaped one. Let's have a look.
Got a fork.
Oh, fork. Handy for a picnic.
There. Some greens.
Yeah.
Any whites. Tiny bit of blue.
Yes, all the bits of blue are tiny today.
It is. This one, I thought at first when I saw it was a shell, but if you feel it, I'm pretty sure that's China.
It does seem to be China, yes.
Yeah.
I'm not taking my glove off because my hand is nice and warm now.
If I tap it,
A little bit
a
of
bit plain on the back.
well
but
worn blue and white. Oh, it's blue on the back too.
yeah, I saw the plain
Ah.
blue, I picked it up and it was blue
That's
and white.
interesting.
That
Oh,
one is got
green.
a green, dark green to the tie.
Yep. Very nice.
This one,
Ooh. Got a
That was
fossil. Is
pretty.
it plain that side? Got a fossil on there. You can see the lines just about. Oh, look. It's got an ammonite on there. Well, not a whole ammonite, a bit of one.
I found a brick.
Oh, there we go. Let's have a look at the brick. Just a minute.
A well-washed,
Settled.
sea-worn brick.
Right, and what's that? West brick.
West brick. So there we go.
I've seen something behind you. I've got to go.
It's behind me.
It is. Oops, hold on tight, everyone's a bit bumpy. But we've got to have a look at this. Automatic Scale Co. Limited. British made. Oh, that's lovely. If I show you the size, there's my hand. 2 hand spans. And it is silly heavy. Oh, we won't be taking that back, but what a lovely thing to find on the beach. And I love this. Completely worthless, no historic value at all. But look how rounded that bit of brick is. I just think that is so pretty, so tactile. One of my favourite things to find. These things that nobody else sees value in, but I love.
Yes, lots of pebble-shaped bricks on the beach, but as you saw, There was a nice brick for me and a very broken, very worn, but as Caroline said, a very cute piece of brick for her that she turned into a candle holder. You never know what you're going to find and where. And this is a piece of footage from the seaside. It's actually on a river estuary as it flows onto the beach, and it's directly opposite the little holiday home we visited in Aberporth. But this brick had come a fair way.
Yes, right, Dad.
A brick? We'll come and have a look. You found a brick, have you, Mr. Johnson?
Brick.
It's a baldy brick that side, but I get the feeling it isn't on the other side.
It does look very, very plain that side. But I know what that is now because you told me before.
Oh, Four Press.
Press.
London Brick Company, Four Press.
Do you think it's London?
Yes,
There we go then. Long way from home.
it is. It's on holidays.
We're on the west coast of Wales. We got a London brick. There's me opening with Llanelli.
Because we were given a lovely gift at Christmas. A gift from Sarah and Mick. They are the channel Docking Bay 51, an excellent mudlocking channel. And recently they've made a phenomenal discovery of a great site. So I'd encourage you to have a look at their videos. But here we have a brick mould. And the clay would go in there. And as you can see in the bottom, it would have printed out the lettering for that brick, which would have indicated the company it was from. Here are a couple more bricks that we found. One right here in the River Taff in Wales, but the other on a visit to our friend Tom Burley up in Yorkshire.
Now this brick doesn't have the name of a place, but say OBC. Something, I am assuming, brick company.
Could be.
Don't know where. Beginning with O.
Ogmore?
Ogmore, possibility.
Ogilvy?
Yeah. You see it all moving?
Ooh.
It is totally alive, that is. So it's probably before.
Best to put that back in the water.
I'm going to put
quickly.
it back in the water. I don't want anything to be damaged by it. But so that one's staying put. But I'm going to make a note of OBC and check out what brick company that is.
Right. Look here. There is a piece of pottery. Now the size on these pieces of pottery are so much bigger than we get in the valleys of Wales. And so much prettier. Look at that. I'd say that's off a basin, a large one, or perhaps a punch bowl. Something like that. Oh, what's Phil found? More blue and white. Isn't that nice?
I have a brick. And it has writing on it. You can focus on that. BST and L Co Limited.
Oh,
Think
that's
so?
an interesting one, yes. There's a leech.
There's a leech there, a leech there. So they can go back in.
Another leech.
So I'm going to put them back in the water. So they'll be happy.
So there we have two bricks from two very different locations with very different lettering, but using that same method to fit as much information as possible into a small space with the least fuss. The first one that we found there in the River Taff, that had travelled a bit of a distance because it had come from Barrow-in-Furness, and the letters stood for the Ormsgill Brick Company, a brick company that was founded in 1875 and was producing bricks at quite a phenomenal rate right through to the 1920s. Of course, a lot of the brick companies set up around that time, around the 1870s, and a lot of them struggled when you got into the 1920s because, as we know, the close of the 1920s met with the Great Depression, Wall Street crash, expansion of industry virtually nil. Something we understand from current times where things are slowing down because of the pressures on the economy. And those pressures on the economy had an impact with numerous brick suppliers. And of course, you also have the issue that that massive building boom from 1870, 1890 through to the 1910s and 20s was coming to a close because most of the collieries in this area had already been established, as has the mills up in Yorkshire. So there was less demand for the bricks. And the brick company in Yorkshire, that was a bit more of a mouthful. That was quite a sizable statement, even in letters. And that stood for the Bingley Sanitary Tube and Lime Company Limited. That would be a lot of information to write in full on just one brick. But this idea of the boom of industry drawing in and developing companies in the surrounding areas that supplied, we saw the evidence for that, not far from home, but right here in our own town. Right in the river just down the hill, which for many years flowed directly through the colliery here, because there was a super pit here at Bargard, a world record breaking colliery that produced millions upon millions of tons of coal over the years. And when we went to the river, we realised that the bricks had not just been made in one place.
I've got two finds to share with you.
Yeah.
But they're very different, but I'm showing them to you for the same reason.
Right.
The first one will be no surprise, it's a brick.
Oh.
In fact, it's half a brick.
Does it have anything on it?
It does, and that's why I brought it over.
Ponypool Brick Company.
It's either Ponypool or Ponypridd. I think there's a bit of an O there, is there?
I think so.
And just in this couple of 100 yards that we've been investigating today, we've had Newport, Beaufort, Ponypool, Tredegar, and it just goes to show how the industrial impact when you sunk a colliery in somewhere in this valley benefited the economies all around, because these bricks have come from everywhere bar Bargard. So they were bringing them in, shipping them in, and of course they were shipping them around the world. So that, and the reason this is linked to the other item, which is so different, it's all about recognising something from part of the word. I'm sure that Caroline will recognise this name. There we are.
Oh, L'Oreal. Because I'm worth it.
Because you're worth it. Of course you are, dear. I would never question it. I'm not sure what was in that. Was that...
Lipstick, I'd say.
Was it? Because it's got that narrow top. I wonder if it was one of them eyelash things or something.
No, the lid would have gone on with the rest of Real on it.
Right.
A lipstick.
Just a little bit of the label, but knowledge means we know where they came from.
Yes, in these parts it was very much the mining industry that developed the towns in which we live. That's why at the centre of our town there are 3 huge heads of colliers with their helmets and lamps on, and a poem to remind people that this town was built on the coal industry. But of course, when we go up to Yorkshire, it's a lot more about the mills. Yes, there's a Yorkshire mining industry, but they had a mill industry that stood the test of time. The supply of coal to create the steam, as well as the clear waters flowing out of the hills, made it the perfect location for a booming and worldwide known flannel industry and cloth. So we're going to go back to Yorkshire now, learn a little about their bricks, also visit one of the mills that is now derelict. But strangely enough, we're not just staying above ground, but we will be going underground, because we're going in search beneath the mill. And of course, you guessed it, I find a brick.
Well, every twist and turn, you just find more bottles. Let's have a look at some. Pick some up. What's this one? There's nothing written on that, but it's a knobbly bobbly one. Malt vinegar, I think that says. Ooh, it's not malt vinegar now. Oh.
Cowburns Limited, Burnley.
Oh, that's a nice one too. What does it say around? That was limited, was it? Right.
Cowburns Limited. Oh, hang on. Headquarters.
Oh.
Burnley.
Oh,
There
wow.
you go. Look at that. I love the way they wrote headquarters on the bottom of the bottle.
Lovely.
That looks like one of them baskets on either side of a concrete donkey.
I think it's metal. I wonder if that's some sort of smelting pot. That's what I'm going for. That is metal. We're not taking it with us because it is very heavy.
Now, we just said a moment ago, oh, that's interesting, because it had headquarters, etc. Look, another identical bottle.
Oh, right.
Identical, look, headquarters written on the bottom.
Oh, so it's not rare, the one we found.
But this one's broken.
Ah, right. Let's have a look at this brown one. What does this say? Oh, that's lovely. I can't actually read that. It's something lovely though. I love the script they've used. Nothing on the other side, but that is such an elegant script. Is this a green one? Or is it algae? No, it's algae. And various other gungy bits. This is a nice one. Tea. Tetley, do you think? Just says tea. It's very nicely decorated.
Got a brick.
Oh, right. What's your brick?
Nelson Company.
Now, there's a place called Nelson near where we live, but I don't think that's come from our Nelson, has it?
No, but I assume there must be a Nelson up here. With Lord Nelson, he tended to get around. At least his name did. And possibly there's a Nelson here because it says Nelson Company Limited, Nelson.
Right.
So probably that was the name of the brick company in the location. Which is interesting because, of course, we found a number of bricks with Elland on.
Yes.
And I found out last night that there were 2 brick companies in Elland, which is a few miles just south of where we are, near to where we're staying. Beautiful place, ancient place, was on the Doomsday Book, actually, Elland.
Right.
Except it ended with a T in those days. That was in 1086. But they had 2 brickworks, but the Elland Road brickworks was not in Elland.
Oh,
It was on Elland Road in Leeds.
right.
But the last of the brickworks over at Elland, I saw an advertisement where the actual site, the 6-acre site, was up for sale 2 years ago for 1.3 million. So obviously a very desirable place to be.
Oh, Phil's found some brick. Let's have a look.
Brick. Look, it's only half a brick. I'm hoping to find the other half. Is that A-T-O-N? Aton Works. So
Who knows? I wonder what that is.
somebody local may know because they'll know the local places. A bit like at home, we recognise Beaufort and Risca from half a word. But I'll try and find some more. But there's a brick I haven't had before.
It's interesting to see the way nature has reclaimed all this land. There's some gorgeous wildflowers here. Trees getting bigger and bigger.
Another decade and that chimney will be lost in that tree.
Yes, you can see it's slowly getting cuddled up nice and cosy in a tree, and it's even got plants growing out of the top. Right, here we go. I'm in charge of the camera and the big light.
And I'm in charge of making sure Caroline don't fall over.
Right.
And if she does, I'll be in the dark.
Right, and that's what it looks like. That's as far up as we can see, and there's a corner. Please note I'm being very brave. I don't know how long for, but I'm brave at the moment. Oops, it's very difficult to keep the light shining where the camera's pointing because the bottom is very bumpy and rough. I'll do my best, but sorry if it's a bit of a crazy ride. Oh, there's something round there. What do you think that is?
There we are. It's a solid tyre
Oh,
on a metal rim.
I wonder what that was off. Scooter, do you think? Child scooter from the 50s, 60s? Oh, look, I was right about it being a scooter.
Oh, there's the other
There's the other bit of the scooter. Let's go and have a look. I hope you can see properly. There we go, one little vintage scooter.
say your torch is much better than mine.
It is.
Oh, look out. What's that? Washing
Hey, washing machine. If you need your laundry done, this is the place to come. Ooh, we've got a big bolt holding the ceiling out. Let's have a look at the ceiling. See what you can see. Oh, the spider. Right, let's turn round and have a look how far we've come in. Ooh, we've walked a long way. I will warn everybody that this may end suddenly because our batteries may go and then we'll have to give up and run away screaming. Oh, piece of glass. Nothing written on it though. Right, just keep looking. Did you fall over?
No, I just walked into the spike.
Ow!
Look at I had my hard hat on. Oh, I just walked straight into that.
Yeah, painful.
Oh, I see the stars.
You okay?
Yeah, it's lucky it was just my head.
Oh well, you'll be fine then. Now this is definitely getting lower. I don't think I'm going to walk up much further because my back is so weak already. We are quite doubled over. Right, where's your brick?
Anything on it? Nothing on that side, is there?
No, there's a big lump of something there, but I'm not going to lift that cloth up just in case there's rats or something in it.
No, we don't lucky on that brick.
So there's a body brick. Ooh.
That stuff coming out of the drain, that is. Must be a sign here,
Oh yeah.
Tell me where you're going.
Right. Got a long walk to find the other end of the tunnel. Whoops. Very slippery there. I slipped there too.
Yeah, very slippery in the water.
Right. Onward and upward or downward and outward?
Oh, well,
Oh, what's go down? Oh, it's going to flicker some lighting on.
says that. Definitely wood.
Green.
G-R-E-W-E-N, wood.
Greenwood.
Greenwood, does that look like?
Could well be. It looks like when I get home I'll double check. Anything on those?
S-B-H, is it?
Looks like, yeah.
Yes, isn't it? Oh, very well. Found a couple of bricks.
There are lots down here when you look really closely, but there's nothing written on them. I think maybe they've been in here for such a long time, they've just been worn away. Oh, we've attracted some moths now. If I hold my light there, you may see the moths flying at us.
Still can't see the light.
Still dark down there. I think when we pass that corner we'll be fine.
Yeah. If you turn the camera down there without the light, you can see how dark it is.
It's like that. And then we bring the light in.
Yeah, it's better than when I came in here with my phone.
Right, Phil, I'm going to turn the light away, you turn your torch on.
Yeah, that's my torch, which is about 10 times better than the one I used last time.
Right, we'll bring mine back in.
I think so. Because mine's perfect. I spotted a brick.
Oh, right, what does it
Tell
say?
in the dark, but no, it's a baldy one. See, there's marks, but not words.
Very difficult to walk around here. No, it says Abergavenny.
What's there?
Yep.
I couldn't see it yet, it's too dark.
Yep, that's an Abergavenny brick.
This is for all you mudlarkers in the UK. This is what we have here. We have nothing like you guys have. No sea glass. No, what do you call it? Plates. I can't think of the word. Anyway, some pretty shells. That's about it. It's January 4th. Beautiful day. The sun finally came out today. Thank goodness. Hello, Carrie from Canada, Vancouver Island.
Thank you so much for that, Carrie. It was lovely of you to share your view and to introduce yourself to all the folks that are part of our YouTube world. And that won't be the only time we'll be putting cameos in. We've already received a very exciting one for next week from Poe and Joe. I'm not going to give you any more information, but well worth the watch as we play their video next week. Let's get back to this video now that I've promised you. the last video of the day. Don't forget, if you want to see more, subscribe, because that way they'll let you know, especially if you ding that bell, they'll send you a notification every time we put out a video. And of course, we've got content over on Ko-fi that is free for everyone, as well as the content that is for those who support us on a monthly basis. Big thank you to all our supporters, but also a big thank you to everyone who watches, for everyone who comments, for everyone who gives us a thumbs up. You're all part of this YouTube family, which we are so proud to be part of. This video, though, is about a brick that I didn't have in my collection, that I found on the coast there in Porthcawl. I could read the name, but I still don't have it in my collection. Come over and find out just why.
I love the texture on these rocks. It's where they've had years and years of being washed by the waves and the wind and the sand, and they've turned into this almost lunar landscape. Oh, here's a brick. We found a brick, Phil. Do you want to come and check out if it's worth taking a look at? Rather green. It's completely wedged.
It's in there.
That's not coming out. Oh, what a shame. Let's have a look. No, can't see anything on it. Can you see anything, anyone?
Before I dig that out, let me show you what I found since I last spoke to you and did my disclosure.
Oh, wow. We don't usually get much sea glass here, but look at that.
Neat boots.
That's a decent handle.
Yeah, just found all those as I just walked along the pools.
Oh.
It doesn't look like it's going to come out, really.
Ah, wish I'd brought my screwdriver.
All our digging tools are in the car. We didn't think
Yeah, I
we'd
didn't
need
think
them
I'd
on
need
the
them
beach.
today on the beach. Oh. Right, as expected, I have failed.
Oh.
Nature has prevailed. These rocks have got a grip on that stone, on that brick. But I have managed to clear it and I can read it.
Oh, so what does it say?
Look, see if you can see it with the camera.
Right, hold
I
tight.
believe there's a T up in this end and it runs diagonally. It says Tondu. 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 So that's a brick I never seen before, and I certainly didn't expect to find a brick on this beach with a word on it, as I said earlier. But there we go. You never know what you're going to find, and you won't find nothing if you don't look. And we'll just keep on looking.
Well, that one got the better of me. There's a point in time when you have to admit defeat, and on this occasion, the forces of nature won the day, because that brick was jammed solid. But as you saw, it was a tondu brick, a brick that I do not have in my collection yet, and I say yet because the search goes on. If you want to see some of those bricks in use, there's a video out of a project I've began, and there'll be new projects come in now in the spring when we go back into the garden and do some filming there. It's been great sharing this with you. Hope you've enjoyed it. But as always, until the next time, from Caroline, myself and Mankey, have fun. Bye.